Hello everyone. Today I want to discuss why localizing DeepSeek AI is a strategical move for small to large companies. How private AI models can enhance business value while maintaining control over AI initiatives. First, we will discuss the core benefit of localizing DeepSeek AI, covering some important aspects like security, compliance, cost, and customization. Next, we will walk through how to set up locally to deploy DeepSeek AI on your intranet or a private cloud. Finally, we'll dive into the code, demonstrate how to create a local AI-powered chatbot and integrate it with our enterprise ecosystem. So let's get started. Here are five basic aspects of localization. The first one is the data privacy and security. One of the biggest risks in using cloud-hosted AI model is that sensitive data, which has to be sent externally for processing. This opens potential attack vectors and privacy concerns. Number two is cost. A cloud-based AI services often charges based on API calls, like OpenAI or DeepSeek AI. They charges based on the tokens, which can be too expensive as usage scales. Third point is customizability and control. A localized deployment allows us to fine-tune DeepSeek AI with domain-specific data. Instead of relying on generic models, we can train our AI to understand very specific to our industry and our organization and its own languages, like abbreviations, a specific name that we use within the organizations. This will reduce or eliminate the model hallucinations of the AI. Number four, which is compliance and regulatory. AI governance and compliance are becoming increasingly complex. By hosting DeepSeek AI locally, we can maintain full oversight of how data is processed and we can ensure compliance with the industry standard that we follow. Very similar to GDPR, HIPAA, or ISO 27001, etc. The last part is property protections. Using external AI models often means sharing proprietary data, which can inadvertently contribute to third-party AI training. Keeping DeepSeek AI on-premise or within a secure cloud environment that ensure that our data, AI model, and any insight generated remaining exclusive to our organization. Now, let me walk you through the architecture of our localized DeepSeek AI chatbot. The goal of this setup is to provide a secure, efficient, and private AI-powered chatbot. This bot can process local documents and interact with users without exposing data to external cloud services. At the front end, we have customers interacting with a single page application built in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The SPA is connected to a server that is based on Node.js, which serves as the backend. This server is responsible for handling any request or managing sessions or running any query to our AI model. It also interfaces with the local documents to get this document, train the model, and get the chat out from the AI models. At the core of this architecture, you can see there is a OLAMA service with DeepSeek AI service, which runs entirely within our private infrastructure. Now that we understand the benefit of localizing DeepSeek AI, let's walk through the setup process for deploying it in a secure intranet environment. So there are main three steps are there. The first step is we need to go to the Olama site to install Olama service, and then we need to install the DeepSeek, and then there are some API services that we can utilize to test it. So without wasting our time, let's go to the code. And I also put all the steps here, and I'll share this document. We'll go one by one. So first, we can go to the olama.com. Now, so this is the olama.com site. So within that site, you can see there is a download. So if you click on the download, you should be able to see different operating systems. So for me, it was Windows, so I downloaded the Windows one. And then once you install the service, you can directly go to the PowerShell. This is for me Windows. You can also go to Bash. Now, say for example, I already installed Olama, so I can check if it is installed or not. So as you see, that Olama version is 0.5, so that means it's already installed. Now I can go to the next step. So the next step is we need to go to the Olama models. That's already there in the presentation I'll share. So if you go to that, there are multiple models are there. Specific, we are interested here in DeepSeek R1, so we can go to the DeepSeek R1. And within that model, there are different types of versions you can see. So this one is fairly smaller version. So it's mainly 1.5 to 1.6 GB it takes. This is mainly based on the like 1.7 billion parameter. So this is 7 billion parameter, then more than 8 billion parameter, 14, and it is up to 70 billion parameters that you can utilize. Now for in this demo, we'll be using only 1.5. And I also downloaded 7 billions as well. It's completely based on your CPU and GPU model that you're using. To do that, we'll go to the command prompt and we run it. For the very first time, it will go ahead and it will download 1.5 GB and then it will start. If you already downloaded, it won't go there and it will start. So for me, it was already downloaded. So as you see, it's already started. Now, this is one command prompt by which you can interact with the service. Say, for example, if I try to interact, then say if I say hi, it's saying hello, how can I assist you today? So you can ask some questions. Say, for example, if I say how I can be an administrative operator on database. This is one of the questions, any questions that you can ask. And as you see, right, so this is the chain of thought. So it generally comes with the think. So starting with the think and ending with the thing, within that, you can see all the chain of thoughts, and then it goes to the actual conclusion. So for example, here, as you see, it's already started all the thinking that first I need to understand, it's thinking something, then it can say, hey, I understood that, now I need to think something else. Now, after this thought, as you see that I will need to lay out more steps on the different scenarios. For example, it's thinking. Now, as you see here, so it's end of the think tag. So that means all the chain of thought is done. Now, based on all these results, it's going to the conclusion. Now that is the conclusion. To be, this is starting here. To become an administrative operator in a database system, you will need advanced technical skill, blah, blah, blah. So it started giving you all the results back. This is one of the interface that you can utilize in your local system, and it's not going anywhere, right? So it is based on your local system, how it's operated at this point. Now, there are a few other ways that you can also utilize. Say, for example, it comes with some default APIs that we are using for the chatbot. So let me show you in a bit. Okay, I'm back to the presentation. So at the end, as you see, there are some steps that I have noted down. The first one is we need to check whether Olama is installed. We already checked and verified it's installed. Then I already installed the Node.js. So if you are new to the Node.js, you can directly go to the nodejs.org and download the Node.js. Then you need to create a project, right? Say, for example, if I use this, so I'll go to my VM and I'll open up a PowerShell window here and let's execute. Okay, so we have created. Then I will go ahead to the next one. I will go inside. Okay, then we will go back and I will initiate that project. Copy and paste. So it's initiated. Let me go back and create the express. Okay, so it's creating. Perfect. So as you see, that once it is created, it created all these different node modules and the packages. Now, what we need to do, we'll do two things here. We'll create the server.js file here, and we will go back and create a HTML file by which we can interact. Now, to save the time, so I have already created, there is another folder that I have created similar way. That's the Olama chat at this point. Now, as you see, so these packages, these two were there, and this is the file that I have created. And under the public, I created this index.html. I'll show and also put it in the link as well. Now, I'm using VS Code, which I like. So if you go to the server.js, you see this is the only part that I'm using at this point. So Olama comes with services, the API services that you can interact. Now, this is the model, right? So as we downloaded 1.5, there are different models like 7 billion model, 8 billion models, 14, then 70, 32. So based on the capacity of your machine, so you can utilize that. So this one is 8 GB RAM, so I'm using 1.5, or at least I can do the 7. But if I use 7, it's very, very slow. Now it's completely up to you. And then to interact that, I'm hosting this one under the service server.js, and the port is 3000, right? So if I go to the HTML file, there are some style sheets and all. Nothing fancy is there. The only thing I will show you the call that I'm making, right? Uh, to call that service and get all the value and send it to the browser. So that is the one that I'm using. Nothing fancy, nothing else is there. Now, if I go back, so this is the message, then we are just adding the message, that's it. So if I go back and let's start the server. Now, if I go to localhost 3000, so I have this open. So let me refresh it. So I refreshed it. I just opened the call as well, so you can see all the network and the calls here. So let's put hi. So you got the message back. So you can see if I do the response preview. So you can see there is nothing, no thinking on that. But you also get the hello, how can I help you? So this is something is coming back from the DeepSeek R1. Let's try a specific question. How I can be a database architect. Something like that. Some question if I ask that question. So if there is any thinking process is there, so it takes little time and then it comes back. As you see, it came back with the response, but it took a little bit more time because I'm running in a very low configured machine. And based on your configuration, definitely you can utilize whatever model is suitable for your machine and the network. So you can run that and you will get all the response back. Now, this is the first thing that we generally do for the configuration. Second, I'll publish another video where I will share how to incorporate the private PDF, transcript, and the TXT file. So I'm drafting that, and within few days I'll be able to publish that. So if you need to do any kind of private training with your private documents, you should be able to utilize that code. Thank you.